So one thing I'm seeing all over social media is people talking about how bad Morbius is and how much they just hated the movie. And honestly, I'm pretty shocked on that because me personally, I loved the movie. The movie was amazing. It gave good fight scenes and I just loved the animation and the CGI all in one. But one thing that a whole bunch of people are confused about, including myself, is the whole Morbius and Vulture recruiting thing. And how Morbius just suddenly wants to fight Spider-Man because Vulture says he's bad. Like, what's going on? One other thing that people are confused about is how Vulture even got to be in the Morbius verse. Because according to Doctor Strange,
spell that you botched where you wanted everyone to forget that Peter Parker's Spider-Man, it started pulling in everyone who knows Peter Parker's Spider-Man from every universe into this one.
So Doctor Strange and Spider-Man No Way Home made it seem like the person who cast the spell is where all the villains from every universe is going to go to. But when everyone was sent back to their own universe, Vulture was sent to Morbius's verse. And that's not even his home universe. So that is one confusing thing that is just making everybody hate the movie more. So let's talk about it. But before we start this video, I'd like and appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so you get notified every time I post a new video. Now let's talk about it. So apparently the rules of Doctor Strange just doesn't matter in the Morbius verse because Vulture is in the Morbius verse and no one knows how he got there. And what Doctor Strange said might actually explain how he did get there. Because he specifically said that everybody from every universe who knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man is coming into the MCU universe. But everybody thought it was just going to be the MCU universe, not any other universe. But everybody's wrong because now the Vulture is in Morbius's verse because he knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Now the question is, which Spider-Man is in the Morbius verse for the Vulture to be transported there? And I feel like we all know that answer, and it's obviously Andrew Spider-Man. And I've given a lot of evidence on how it is Andrew's Spider-Man, but I can explain it again in this video. You know what? Let's just talk about that right now because I feel like people are still confused on how everyone or I know that Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is in Morbius's verse. So the reason how I know that Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is in the Morbius's verse is because of this newspaper right here. I know I keep saying it over and over again in my Morbius videos, but I just feel like people still don't understand. This is Rhino, and right here it says Black Cat. And like I said in my other video, Felicia Hardy was Harry Osborn's assistant in Spider-Man 2. And then we have the Rhino who was in TASM 2 at the end of the movie, and him and Spider-Man faced in a battle. And here's some more evidence if you still don't believe me. In TASM 2, Harry is going through some files that his father left for him when he died. And if you look very closely, you can see they have a Morbius file right there, hinting the Morbius movie and the Morbius character. If you look closely again, you can see up here is Venom. And this is also how I know Venom and Andrew Garfield are in the same verse as Morbius. So yeah, there's my evidence on how Andrew Garfield is in the same verse as Venom and Morbius. I don't know what else to tell you if you still don't believe me. But enough about that, let's just move on to the whole Vulture situation that we're talking about here. Now, since Vulture knew Spider-Man's identity, that is one of the reasons why he was transported to the Morbius verse, but it still doesn't explain like how he just broke the rules of Doctor Strange and Spider-Man No Way Home and how he explained it and all that. But here's a little theory of mine. What if in the Loki series in the last episode when he completely messed it up reality and the multiverse, what if Doctor Strange did the spell and that happened at the same time? So when he did the spell again, he was able to slip through the cracks and he was able to go to the Morbius verse. Now I don't know if that's true, but that's a little theory of mine that I feel like would be really cool if it were true. But sadly, my theory is not true because according to the Morbius director, he said that in Spider-Man No Way Home, it was clearly established that anybody who knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man from any universe is able to go through universes to universes because they do Peter Parker with Spider-Man. And number one, that was not clearly established like at all. And number two, I just feel like I just feel like they just made that up. It wasn't like completely like quoted by Marvel themselves. And it just like really just breaks the whole rule and thing that Doctor Strange said in No Way Home. So I can get why fans were confused and kind of mad at that. Oh, and another thing. Where in the world did Adrian Toomes get this new Vulture suit? Because he came to the Morbius-verse, he came to the Morbius-verse in a white prison uniform. He didn't come to the Morbius-verse in a full-on Vulture suit. So where did he get this? Or how did he get this? Or how did he build it? Now, for those of you who are saying, well, he built it. He didn't. Because in Spider-Man Homecoming, the Tinkerer built this Vulture suit with Chitauri tech because when they were just excluded from this whole battle scene full of Chitauri tech, some people said, oh, you gotta get out of here. And they took Chitauri tech with them and made weapons, including this Vulture suit for their boss. So they didn't build this because this looks like the exact same suit from Spider-Man Homecoming, made out of the same Chitauri tech, and there is no Chitauri tech in the Morbius-verse because there's no Chitauri and there's no Avengers. So that's out of the question. So who built this, or where did he get it from? And I think I might have found the answer. Now, we all know that Venom and Morbius and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man are all in the same universe. But we all also know that in every post-credit scene of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man movies, there's always this black figure who visits the villains that Andrew Garfield beats. And we all remember that same scene when he's walking past a whole bunch of Sinister Six costumes, including a Vulture costume. Now, here's where the theory comes in. I think that the black figure is the one who is behind this whole new Sinister Six. Because I think that the black figure that we see in the TASM 2 and TASM 1 post-credit scenes contacted Adrian Toomes and said, hey, I got something for you. Come over. And he went to the black figure's little lair or whatever he has. He got the suit and he made it his own original design that we've seen in Spider-Man Homecoming. And then the black figure told Adrian Toomes to go to Morbius and tell him that we need to gather up a whole bunch of villains and take down Spider-Man. Now this, I think, would be a really, really good theory because it explains why Adrian Toomes would think that this has to do something with Spider-Man.
Has to do with Spider-Man.
And it would also explain, I guess, kind of why Morbius wants to attack Spider-Man. Actually, you know what? The last part, I don't think that it would explain that. But honestly, I think that's a really cool theory, and I would love to see that theory come to life in this, or in a new future-on Spider-Man movie, or a future-on new Morbius movie. But yeah, that's literally all I have for you guys today. So make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications if you enjoyed this video. And I wish you all an amazing day. You have fun, you explore, and you just have fun and enjoy your day. Now, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.